Angled. Hey, how's everybody doing on the snow day? Well, we got a really good heaping helping of snow, so the actual shop is closed today because of the snowstorm. You know what? I don't even know this snowstorm's name. I'll have to check. I think it's called Gale. So we're closed due to snowstorm Gale. So I am going to be doing my every Thursday live from home today. So I wanted to share with everyone some of the yarns that we have that are for non-wool people. Everybody doesn't like wool. Some people are sensitive to it. And I think that you should be able to make warm, cozy, and comfortable things, whether you can use wool or not. You know, some of the fibers I'm going to be talking about today, you're going to be really familiar with, like cotton or silk, and others are going to be a little bit further afield. The first yarn I want to show you guys today. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Let me do a quick straighten up. I hate when I'm all crooked. um, yeah, so like I said, I think non wools are a fun place to go and a interesting thing to try. And some of them can actually be a little bit warmer than wool. So you're not sacrificing warmth even if you're not going to use wool. So I think without any further ado, I'm going to get started. So let me get my screen share up. And go me, I had it all ready to rock and roll. The first yarn I wanted to talk to you guys about today is Juniper Moon Farm Stargazer Brush. So, if you like soft and smooth and delicious, this is the one for you. Stargazer Brushed is 85% baby llama and 15% nylon. It's got a kind of lofty, long chainette structure. So it weighs nothing. So even if you make a sweater out of it, maybe a long cardigan or a large shawl, it's not going to be heavy. And llama is actually a warmer fiber than wool. So you get rid, oh, and by the by, it is super soft and it's got like a brush texture. So it already comes with halo built in. So if you want to try one of those patterns where you're holding a mohair with another yarn to create that halo, this puppy gives that to you without being bothered to hold yarns together. Each skein is, let me see, 284 yards to 100 grams, and it's a hand wash, dry, flat situation there. It's a worsted weight. And I think we have it in about 6 or 7 colors, so there will be a color for everyone. And I wanted to do a little close up of the yarn so you can see the structure. You see how those fibers, the nylon, is forming almost like a mesh that's holding those beautiful bits of llama together. So you get a soft, delicious texture, but it just holds up really nicely. I even have a pattern to show you, a project to show you how it works. There we go. This is the Inga shawl. The pattern's available on Ravelry. See if I can make it big. You see how it works up with that halo, but you're still getting beautifully defined stitches. Take a look at this leafy lace border. All the details are there visible for you, but it's still that soft, soft, comfortable fabric that you created. And it is beautiful for dead of winter sweaters. So actually, if you had a sweater made out of this, today would be one of those days to wear it. And Juniper Moon Farm Stargazer is $20 per skein. Oh, okay. So halo means, you know what? Let me see if I can blow this up a little, blow up this picture, because I think I can show you better than I can explain halo. When you have, instead of a super smooth fabric, you're going to get a fabric that has like little fibers that stick off of it, forming almost a halo over the fabric. So it's going to have a fuzziness to it, but it's a fuzziness that's not going to shed all over your clothes. Oh wow, the Juniper Moon Farm people are there. Oh wow, hi, nice to see you. But like I said, it's just a beautiful, beautiful yarn. And oh wow, yeah, wool can feel all kinds of different ways. So it can be super smooth and buttery soft, or it can feel almost like you know those green scrubbing pads that you scrub your pots with. And every kind of wool has its purpose, but it can feel every kind of way. And like I said, some people are sensitive to it. So today, oh, I can show you the colors, no problem. Let me just go on back over there. Share. So I can go through the colors one by one. It comes in a plump, pretty skein. And the colors we have in stock, let me see. I'm sorry, I don't have the color names, but this is a beautiful taupe. And to answer your halo question, you see those little hairs? And I'm pointing at my screen now like you guys can see, but there are little hairs that you can see that are visible. A beautiful creamy white, silvery gray, golden. I think it's actually called goldenrod, something like that. Green. I'm a purple person, so this is a bluey purple and like a royal purple and a gorgeous ruby red. Oh gosh, yeah. But like I said, don't think that the wool you felt is indicative of all the wool that's out there, because it's got every kind of feel depending on the blend and the breed of sheep it came from originally. So it can feel all kinds of different ways. Yeah, I go for the purples. Yes, you can order it online and pick it up. And although this is it's got some halos, it's a little fuzzy, it's easy to knit or crochet with, because that structure that they built out of the nylon just keeps everything flowing beautifully. So it flows beautifully out of the ball, and you get, I don't know, a really luscious fabric when you work with this yarn. And the Juniper Moon Farm people have kindly put a link directly to it on our website. Yes, I'll be open on Saturday. And what would I use this for? Hats, scarves, sweaters, anything you want to be super warm but weightless. And that's what you're getting with this yarn. You're getting a beautiful, beautiful warm yarn, but no weight. Now, the another one of the yarn, you know what? Let me pop the name up so everybody knows it. And also, there is a link in the chat. US 7 through 9 for knitters, and for crocheters, if you're using a hook, it would be an L or K hook. And you're looking for a gauge of approximately 4 to 5 stitches per inch. So the things you make in this, you'll also work up fairly quickly because it's a beautiful worsted weight yarn. That's the name, and there is a link directly to it there in the chat. And if you're not actually watching this on your phone right now, that little QR code in the corner, oh, pointing the wrong way, in the corner there, got it. If you take a little picture of that or just focus your camera on it, it will give you a link directly to my website. So let's talk about another way to go. LRA Rustic Silk, another beautiful yarn. Also, no wool content. Just pulling it up on my website right now. There we go. Now, LRA Rustic Silk is exactly the opposite of the Juniper Moon Farm Stargazer Brushed. What happens with silk is that it is one of the fibers that kind of regulates your body. So it's great for both winter and summer items. So in the winter, silk will keep you warm, and in the summer, silk will help you keep cool. This is a DK weight yarn. It's 100% silk, 437 yards to 100 grams. Oh, sorry, fingering weight. My bad. 437 yards to 100 grams. And it comes in these beautiful kind of, I hesitate to call these colors variegated. It is a variegate, but the way the colors move through the yarn. Well, thank you, Knitting Fever. Ain't y'all cool? The way the colors move through the yarn, it kind of reads as one color when you make it into a fabric. So I have the natural. There's always going to be purple at a knit sheet. So when you work this up, it is going to read as an all over purple fabric, although it's tonal. I think that's a better word for how to describe how it works out. This reads overall as a gold. This kind of comes up kind of blushy. I don't even think blush is the right word, but there's some pinkiness to it. More purple. And this comes up as a bronze when you work with it. Let me see if I can pull up a quick project. Okay, I'm just going to grab something up on Ravelry. Yeah, she's tonal, she's speckled. But what you get is this beautiful fabric that if you are working in lace, a couple of my customers have made lace shawls out of this, and it barely needs blocking. It it opens from the beginning, and what you knit is pretty much what you're gonna get. But it's great for tops, for scarves, and it has a really lovely smooth hand to it. Okay, I'm gonna confess, I'm one that I swatch all the time because I got tired of everything I made not coming out anywhere near the size I thought it was gonna be. I mean, like, ooh, things could be like super off. Now, has anybody worked in silk before? One of the things you want to know about it is that it's not very elastic, so it's not going to stretch. When you're tensioning it, you want to tension it much more loosely than you would tension an elastic fiber like wool. But silk will also work for you in weather like this because it does regulate your body temperature. Okay, I think our next yarn up. Let me see, I had a list. Oh yes, Ella Ray Silky Kid. Now, Silky Kid is a mohair. If you are sensitive to wool, but you still want something super warm, mohair is definitely the way to go. As you can see, we have it in a batch of colors. I think it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 colors. It's a lace weight yarn that knits like it's almost a worsted because you can get 5.5 stitches to the inch on an 8 millimeter needle or hook. So just because it's a lace weight yarn doesn't mean you have to work it on the tiniest needles or the tiniest hook. This yarn is halo, sort of embodied. It's fluffy and light. Once again, you're getting weightlessness with warmth. So if you made a sweater out of this, it would weigh absolutely nothing and it would keep you super warm. People also used to do things with mohair like add it to sock yarn to add additional weight, but additional warmth and strength. And you could also make, if you like to make mittens, do a liner out of mohair for your mittens. You do a contrast color or a coordinating color. Let me run you through the colors right quick. Oh, there we go. A cute little baby blush. This one's actually called Snowy, and it's snowy white. I just had someone get some of this recently because she was making Christmas stockings, and she wanted to use that for Santa's beard. She was doing a 3D beard. Adorable. Several shades of blue. this deep, I don't even know what to call it. I want to call it bronze, but it's brown, it's gold. Another thing that's been very popular the last couple of seasons is people are holding their mohair. Yep, holding mohair with regular yarn. Oh yeah, it makes great color effects. You can play with color a lot with mohair. So you could emphasize color by using a mohair held together with a yarn that's the same color of it as it. If you go a little deeper in the color of the mohair, you can change the tone of your yarn if you're still working with the same color. And you can create a whole different effect by using opposite colors. Hmm. But it also creates that beautiful halo that just, I don't know, it just adds another level of luxury to your yarn, to your project. So what you're getting with Ella Ray Silky Kid, it's 76% Super Kid mohair, 24% silk. It's 25 grams, and that 25 grams is getting you 220 yards of yarn. It goes a very long way. Yes, that's this beautiful bronzy color. It is chestnut. Thank you. And there are links to see projects and the yarn right here in the chat. So if you wanted to take a quick look, there you go. And I'm going to have to show you one of my all-time favorite yarns. It's also a Juniper Moon Farms. It's Cumulus. And I actually have it in a couple of variations. I have Juniper Moon Farms Cumulus. I have Juniper Moon Farms Cumulus Dappled. And I have Juniper Moon Farms Cumulus Rainbow. That should tell you how much I like Juniper Moon Farms Cumulus. When I'm in the store with customers, I will often have them touch it and ask them, "Well, what do you think this yarn is made out of?" And almost nobody guesses correctly. It's soft, lofty, buttery feeling, and it's made of cotton. Believe it or not, it's a worsted weight cotton that works up like a dream. I recommend this for sweaters, for shawls, for hats, any kind of garment, because a lot of people have said that, oh, I don't like cotton, it's hard on my hands. Not this cotton. They say, oh, it's heavy, it stretches out. Not this cotton. It's comfortable to work with and it's comfortable to wear. It is soft like a kitten. Yep. Yes, it is kitteny soft. But that's once again, I think, the genius of Juniper Moon Farm. One of the things they do is they build the yarn so that the structure adds to the texture that you're getting. So it knits up smooth, but you get stitch definition. Matter of fact, you get such beautiful stitch definition that I had a customer come in asking about yarn for a fisherman sweater, but the person she was making it for could not wear wool. And this is what I recommended. And it came out really great because all those textures she was putting in showed up beautifully. So let me show you the colors I have in stock. I've got greens and this gorgeous creamy color. This color actually, I'm not sure if I have any more of it because I don't know what it was, but this like warm peachy tan just went out the door. So I'm not sure if I have much more of that left. Another shade of cream, bright spring green, the hottest of pinks. Did I miss the orange? Oh, yes. A cool mint and this kind of sexy silvery gray. But what it is, it's 94% Israeli cotton and 6% nylon. It's 100 gram skeins. You get 248 yards to the skein. And it's another one that you would work on something around a 5 millimeter needle or 5 millimeter hook. And you're looking for a gauge of about 19 stitches to 4 inches. Let me see if I can find a picture. Ah, there, this picture you can kind of see that chainette structure. But holding the skein in your hand is like petting a kitten, and wearing it is super comfortable. I'm gonna have to get one from her. She brought it. She actually brought it in, and we got to chatting, and I forgot to take a picture. I forgot to take a picture of it. So that is beautiful from Farm Cumulus. That's just plain, regular, ordinary, everyday cumulus. But I also have, let's see, Cumulus Dapple and Cumulus Rainbow. Let me show you Cumulus Rainbow. That's really fun. Now, is that fun? We're talking long repeats. Let me show you the top few so you can see what they're looking like. One color fades gently into the next. And it's the same composition, so it's still 94% cotton, 6% nylon, deliciously soft. But let's say you wanted to make a scarf and you wanted to, I don't know, do some short rows or something that would just remix the color. This would be a perfect candidate. It would be handling the color work for you. And I did like that they did both bright and soft color combinations. And I'll throw a quick link to this in the chat too. And Cumulus Rainbow comes in 100 gram skeins, and you're also getting 251 yards per skein. And you'd work it on anywhere between a US 7 and US 9. And for crocheters, that would be like a J or Q, J, K, L hook. So we've gone through llama, deliciously soft. Mohair. Oh, mohair. I had to when I started my knitting career, my crochet career, I had to look up exactly what mohair was. I was like, what's a mo? It's goat. So once again, no wool. So for people who just cannot work with wool, there's so many beautiful alternatives that you can try. And I have to throw this one in just for fun. because it's soft and delicious, and everybody who touches it kind of loves it. Now, I know some of you have been around for a while and you're like, oh no, not the fun fur. But Cereal Alpine is unlike any fun fur I've ever worked with. I'm actually loving the daylights out of this stuff. If you love super duper soft yarn, this meets that standard. It is the softest, most delicious yarn. Actually, I have a skein of it right here. Now, this actually feels like you're petting a bunny. That's exactly what it feels like. The fur is kind of directional, like it would be on a bunny. So if you stroke it one way, it feels soft, and if you stroke it the other way, it feels even softer. You work it on really big hooks. I would say US 10 or 11. And for a hook size, I would say an N or P hook. It works up to about 7 single crochets per inch. And for knitted, you probably get 8.5 stitches per inch. It's 36 yards to 50 grams. And when you ask, well, what do you do with it? My answer is, what can't you do with it? I've made a couple of cowls out of this. I have trimmed a hat. I'm actually considering making a collar for my jean jacket. So it has fur collar and cuffs just for fun. But lightweight, and that's the other thing, it's light. Lightweight fur blankets. And the other thing you want to know about it is that while it is easy to work with, it shows absolutely no stitches. So it doesn't matter the way you knit it or crochet it, it's going to look exactly the same. Once you knit or crochet it into a fabric, it just looks like fur. So if you've seen those fur blankets, those fur throws that were really hot, that were actually quite pricey at Home Goods, you could easily make one of these. This retails at, I think, I want to say the wrong price, $6 a ball. And if you're working on a US, let's say 10, two of these will make a cowl that's 36 inches around, and 10 will get you a throw. And I have what I call critter colors, so they look kind of like animal fur, and fantasy colors. So that's one of my critters right there. And now we're moving a little into fantasy land. That's like one of these. It's kind of, I have solids and these kind of variegates. So with the variegate, it's a color on the bottom, and the tips are usually either frosted with white or black. So here's the green frosted, pink frosted, tan frosted. And you can see the difference between the frosted and the solids. But these are a lot of fun. And what is it made of? It is 100% super bulky polyester. But if you wanted to churn out a quick um, cowl, it's an evening of crocheting or knitting. As a matter of fact, crocheting it would be faster. But you could churn out, I can't even tell you. In a week, you could probably churn out seven if you worked on it some every day, because 36 inches in this, it's about 3 hours of work. So if you wanted to give somebody quite the luxurious Christmas gift, churn them out of fun fur cow. You know what? I do have one more thing to show you. Mojave. Now this is a yarn by Kelborn Woolens. It has a stunning hand. We have it in a raft of colors. Look at the sheen on that. Now, if you had to guess, what would you say that was made of? I'm going to put a link to it in the chat. Well, this is a cotton and linen blend. It's a DK weight yarn, and it's Pima cotton and linen. So delicious. It's 60% cotton, 40% linen, 185 yards to 50 grams. And you'd work it between a 3.5 and a 4 millimeter needle or hook. So in your hook sizes, I would say you go down to something like um, a G or an H hook. But when you get this yarn, you're working with something that flows beautifully, that is comfortable to knit with and to wear or to crochet with. And the combination of cotton and linen, I find, is actually more comfortable to work with than either cotton or linen alone. But scarves, tops, shawls, anything along those lines. And this is machine washable. Yeah, I showed some silk earlier. I showed Ella Ray Rustic Silk. There's a link to it in the chat. And you know what? I don't have any pure alpaca at the moment. That's why I didn't show alpaca today. I have alpaca blends at the moment. And what I wanted to focus on today was alpaca, was yarns that are just completely without wool. But let me do a quick bonus yarn. This is Kelborn Woolen's Perennial. I'm going to put a link to it in the chat. Perennial is a blend of 60% superwash merino, 25% suri alpaca, and 15% nylon. So it is technically a sock yarn. And if you did make socks out of it, they would be the most luxurious socks, because you're talking the super softness of merino wool, that just gorgeous softness of suri alpaca, and you got the strength that'll protect it from the rubbing from the nylon. It's 100-gram skeins, 497 yards to a skein, and they retail for $26. And I have it in 3, 6, 8 colors right now. Beautiful saturated colors. And this is another yarn that has a tiny bit of halo to it. And I think that's because of the difference between the staple length of the alpaca and the wool. So I did sneak one yarn in to this show that has some wool in it. But all the rest are completely wool free. And perennial, I would recommend that for shawls that are just delicious to wrap around you. And if you like doing fingering weight sweaters, it would make a really luxurious sweater. Now, I have linked to all of these items that I've talked about in the chat. And let's see, right down below me on screen is my website. It's www.aknitsheep.com. When you get to the website, just click the shop button if you want to check out anything I've shown today. Does anybody have any questions? Well, if you think of anything, put it in the chat. I'll check it later and try to get an answer to you. If you saw anything you wanted right now, just put the name and say, I want that, and I can send you an invoice. Alrighty? I thank everybody for coming out today. Well, not coming out, but spending some time with me on this snowy, snowy day. I hope everybody had hot tea and banana bread to snack on while we watch the snow melt. Have a great night, everybody. Bye. Good night.